timers say we love the alcohol, la 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all, la 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 la. But my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every motherfucker must agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me, and you and me, and you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome once again to Nerds with Alcohol. I am Russ.
And I'm Chris.
And this is episode 267. So
267.
Holy shit, 267. Back in the virtual nerd basement, guys. Welcome once again. Hope you guys are having a great week already. It's only Tuesday, so here's hoping that if it is bad, it can only go up from here. I don't know. It is St. Patty's Day on Thursday.
And
this week.
The weather looks like the nicest St. Patrick's Day that I can remember in 20 years.
Oh, aye, to be sure. It looks like it's going to be just a beautiful day. We're looking at warm temps this week.
Yeah.
Here in Michigan, a lovely kind of we're looking like upper 60s for the next or coming up soon. So
yeah, well, St. Patrick's Day is St. Patrick's Day is supposed to be like partly cloudy and 69 degrees.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible this time of year. That really is very, very nice.
Everybody's gonna be out in their shorts.
Yeah. 64 tomorrow, 70 on Thursday. Back down to the upper 40s for Friday and Saturday, but it's still not bad. And then Sunday back up, Sunday and Monday next week up to the upper 50s. So I mean, I think we're gonna top out winter with some really mild temps, and I am happy with that.
Yep. Hey CD, how's it going?
Hey CD, good to see you.
Locked and to be loaded.
So we Sunday we had a big the St. Patty's Day parade here in Detroit. Weirdly enough, we got a weird kind of cold snap in the middle of the night, actually in like very early Sunday morning, and
it snowed like fucking crazy.
Snow.
Yeah,
got about a half an inch, and it's not a lot of snow, but it was enough to kind of surprise people and enough to create a lot of slickness and a lot of accidents. Unfortunately, it's weird. Like I took Stella and a couple of friends out. We went out Saturday night to City Club, which is the Goth, for those of you guys who don't know, it's the Goth Industrial Club here in Detroit that's existed for since 1983, so almost 40 years. And I hadn't been there in like almost 10 years, or like 8 or 9 years. I think it was like 8 years. And we had a great time. We were out till pretty late, and I think I went to bed about 5 a.m. There wasn't snow on the ground. I mean, other than the snow that still was lingering, and then I get up at like 11:30 or noon to get ready for my rehearsal for the play, and there's like fucking snow everywhere, and people are like, I'm getting texts from my cast. It was like, hey, watch the roads. It's really slick. It's real dangerous out there. Be careful. I'm like, holy shit. The freeway was shut down at one point.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah. The 696 had some kind of nasty things. So Stella had it, but I tell you, Stella's first time at the Goth Club, and she had a great time. She did embarrass me by ordering a fruity girly drink. And for anybody that knows anything, you don't order a fruity girly drink from the bartenders at City Club. You get what they have behind the counter, and you're not getting anything fancy. It's just finally the guy was like, oh, I could make you could do like a vodka cran. I'm like, yes.
Because it looks like blood. It looks like blood.
Yeah, well, they used to call it a vampire's kiss back in the day. I mean, so yeah, I'm like, yes, that'll be fine. Vodka cranberry, that'll be fine. And I just looked at her. I'm like, you're embarrassing me. And she goes, what? And then
Hey,
she
the lady
accidentally
wants what she wants, man.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you could get like sometimes you could get like a glass of wine, which okay. But the guy was like, she's like, do you have any Chardonnay? And he's like,
We
he just
got
looked at her
red.
like, no, it was really funny. He looked at her like she was speaking Greek, and then he just like, I think we have some Chardonnay like left over from last week. I don't know how good it is. And she goes, oh, that's okay. How about just something like maybe fruity or something? I'm just like, oh my god. You know, I just had what's it called? From Blake's, the berry,
Triple Jam?
Triple Jam. Thank you. But the interesting thing is it came in a tall boy can.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know they made those. You know, it's a tall boy can.
You talk about her getting, girly foofy drinks.
Hey man,
you're drinking
cider. No, see, City Club, cider has always been a thing. In fact, at City Club, it was one of the only places you could get woodpecker cider.
Oh.
In the entire Detroit area, except for the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah, I remember woodpecker when it was at the fair.
Woodpecker was like before woodchuck and before cider.
Well, it's actually a British cider.
Right.
It's an English cider.
It was the only place in town that you could get woodpecker.
It's when you could still get Watney's out there too, which
sure. Yeah.
I miss Watney's.
So yeah, so it was like, like they had Blake's, they had Flannel Mouth, and they had Triple Jam, and I was like, oh, okay, great, but I tell you, we had a great time. It was a little chilly. It was definitely cold. My friend Gabrielle was up from Florida, and she had never actually. It was the coldest temperature she'd ever been in. She said she'd never seen snowfall before. She'd seen snow before, but she'd never seen snow fall before. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, it was an interesting evening. But like I said, I mean, we went to bed. There wasn't snow, and then there must have been a pretty intense snowfall for
It really picked up around 10 a.m. Is when it got really heavy.
So,
but yeah, I was supposed to be in the parade with Polly, who does our theme song, and my back's been bugging me for days. It's actually better today than it has been in the last week, and so I'm like, okay. But Sunday I was like, it's twinging. I don't do well if I'm out in cold weather for a long time. Being at the curling club doesn't seem to bother me, but I think it's because I'm also moving a lot. But if I'm standing outside, my body doesn't react well to it anymore, and I don't know why. I think it's just getting old.
We all are, brother.
Yeah,
we're all getting old.
But yeah, otherwise my week was fine. I started my new job today.
How's that going for you?
Today was my 4th day. It's going. I still don't have access to everything, so I'm still working on getting access. But I'm already finding things that I want to update, change, fix, things like that. So I've got a list, a big old list of projects they want me to work on. So, but what's weird is, so at my previous job, I didn't realize how much micromanagement trauma that I had acquired.
Okay.
To the point where I started on Thursday, had a meeting with my boss in the afternoon, blah, 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 went over some stuff. Friday, I didn't even talk to him. And I was feeling like, is everything okay? And does he know I'm working? And it's just that he's like, I was talking with him about it yesterday, and he's like, yeah, he goes, what was it like, at your last place? Cause I told him, I'm like, I'm broken from my last place. And he's like, what was it like? And I told him about it. He's like, yeah, I don't have time for that shit.
Okay. Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that shit.
Yeah. He's like, so it's one of those where if I do my job, everything's going to be fine. And I'm not going to have I don't have to write up reports to justify my existence every day. And he's like, was that a contract thing, or did they make their regular employees do that? I said, no, that was regular employees. Everybody had to do that. He's like, damn. He's like, I don't have time to read all those.
Again, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yep. So it's going. I actually am traveling to one of our sites. I'm actually going to Bay City tomorrow to help one of the other guys locate a couple of access points, get them plugged in, and do some recon for some rewiring I'm going to need to do up there in the next few weeks. So should be good. But other than that, I had my other D&D game on Saturday. That was fun. Been working on on the Tavern Knights D&D game. I'm looking forward to that this Friday. A lot because not sure where this is going to go because I don't think you guys know where you are.
I think we know where we are. Yeah, it was you left us on a bit of a cliffhanger there.
Well, yeah, you saw some large shapes moving in the distance.
Shapes moving in the distance, yes. So we're all we've got our initiative dice ready.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to happen the first time. It's going to be everybody roll for initiative.
Initiative, yeah. So,
danger zone.
I'm ready to go. Let's do it. Let's fight the good fight.
Yep. So, how was your week?
It was all right. Like I said, I've been rehearsing a lot of extra time. That's why I couldn't be on Tavern Night last night because of our show that we're putting on Sunday this week. Our play. It's Take 127. A Technicolor tragedy, and I'm playing Dante Elton Lynn Valenti, the production designer. It's I actually realized that I kind of patterned his voice and his mannerisms a little after Scar from The Lion King. There's one of my lines is Dante Elton Lynn Valenti, at your service. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to be here with all of you sultry minxes. And I kind of went, wait a minute, is that Jeremy Irons? Jeremy Irons. But anyway, the last two rehearsals we've had were a little shaky, so we're like, we should probably get a few more read-throughs in during the week, and we've got another one tomorrow, and then that'll be probably our last one because I doubt too many people are going to want to get together on St. Patty's, and then we go on Saturday or Sunday. So I think we'll be fine ultimately. I mean, we had a read-through last night. We were fine. So there's, but still, it's always a good idea to get maybe a couple more in, and then. It's just working, and tearing things apart at work, and we're getting ready. We got approval on 2 designs for 2 different floats for Huntington Bank and for Gardner White, and we're actually very excited about both of these designs. The Gardner White float, actually, we're going to be able to use a pretty big part, pretty much. The third section of the float that we built, we're going to be able to reuse that and just add some more stuff to it. So that's going to cut down a lot on the time on that one. And we're just waiting on a third approval, and then we're going to get started on just kicking ass and getting our production going. Because they want to start, instead of doing like one at a time, they want to start working on 3 floats all at once. And so it could potentially be a bit of a logistical nightmare, but we'll see. It's gonna be more paperwork for me, I think, just keeping track of shit. So but yeah, so there's that. I found that out today that we got approved for at least two of the designs, but then we've got probably another 5 to 6 more designs plus stuff for the Cherry Fest. We also found out we are gonna be bringing the float to the Cherry Fest in Traverse City, so we have to gather all the bits and pieces for that, and that's going to need to get repainted and I just got a lot of work. I got a lot of shit going on. And Saturday, this coming Saturday, I'm going to be also airbrushing t-shirts at a bar mitzvah. I don't know if you remember when I was doing that a bit. I would do, like, for this one, my friend's company, airbrush stuff. She'd bring people in, bring artists in to do to airbrush for these big events, and it's a couple hours, $150, $200. It's not bad, and it's real meatball stuff, real simple shit, but it's kind of cool. My time is starting to get busy, so things are starting to get busy a little bit earlier than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
What are you drinking, man?
I'm actually drinking something from your side of the fence tonight.
What, a cider?
I am doing a cider, yes. I am actually doing a Strongbow Original Dry.
Oh, nice. Wow. Okay.
It is.
That was one of my early, it was one of the early ciders that I was introduced to when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, and Strongbow pulled their original for quite a while, and you couldn't find it here in the States.
Very hard.
And people were upset because they didn't like the newer one because it was too sweet and everything. And they brought this one back a couple of years ago, I think. And now you can find it a lot more frequently. And this is a lot more like the old Strongbow cider. But yes, this is 5% by ABV. It is, he says, made from a majority of ripe cider apples from our orchards in Herefordshire, England, for a crisp, refreshing taste. It is very clear. They filter the hell out of this. That is like crystal clear. And
it is very golden, though.
Yes, it is very golden. Lots of bubbles. It smells like apples.
It does.
It tastes like apples. It is.
Well, it's appropriate.
Well, that's the thing. So it is a cider. If you want a true cider, this one, I think, is one of the best.
It's true.
I really, really like this. As far as, like,
it's stripped down too. There's no, it's a apple cider.
Yep. Now, what was it? Sotheby, or the one that Tiger got us brought to us from Canada.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember.
That one is out of this fucking world. That thing is
fantastic. It's fantastic.
And so is Orchard Thieves from Ireland. And I know
Orchard Thieves is really good.
But you can't get Orchard Thieves here in the U.S. And that other one is, if you can find it, because I think you found it actually in the U.S. once, or I did. One of us did. But you can almost never find it.
Right.
So this is one you can find. I really like it. I'll give Strongbow four bottle caps easy for this one. It is a solid, just plain, no frills cider. And a lot of times that's what I want. When I want a cider, I actually want that apple flavor. I don't want apple mixed with cherry or mixed with blueberry or mixed with, 18 different ingredients that I'm like, I don't need all that all the time. Now, granted, some of them are good. Punk lemonade on a summer day, love it.
Absolutely. Punk lemonade on a hot summer day, man. Yep. Cold as ice, man. It's great stuff.
Death Unicorn, just about any time.
Sure. Death Unicorn is fantastic too. I haven't had that in a while. Shit.
Yeah. Black Fang in the fall.
Black Fang is good warmed up.
See, I haven't had it that way. And I know Renee doesn't like it, but I'm a big fan of Zombie Killer. I love that cherry flavor. When I want
it's not my favorite either, but it's okay.
But when I want it, that's what if I want like cherry pie in a glass, then I'll get Zombie Killer.
Right.
But Blake's makes good stuff too. But Rainbow Seeker's really good, but it's got that sage flavor in it. So
sure. Rainbow Seeker's excellent as a pineapple cider. It's really excellent.
I love pineapple, and I like pineapple things, and the sage kind of sets it off a little. I think I would.
It does.
I would like more pineapple, less sage in there.
Okay.
But anyway, Strongbow hard ciders, original dry. If you can find it, it's really good. What about you? You drinking anything tonight?
I am another Blake's hard cider from the variety pack, the fall variety pack. This is the Apple Lantern. This is their roasted pumpkin hard cider. It's a good cider. I don't really get the pumpkin aspect of it. Maybe a little bit. Actually, you know what? A little bit on the back notes. You're starting to get it. It's it comes across kind of sweet. And it's a good cider. I'm not getting, it's weird. When it comes to pumpkin, we have such a flavor, we understand pumpkin and pumpkin pie or things like that.
But people think of pumpkin, they think of the pumpkin spice, not the actual pumpkin.
Not the actual pumpkin. You're not actually, most of the time, most people don't eat pumpkin. You eat the pumpkin seeds, or whatever. I mean, and there are very specific kinds of pumpkins when you're eating pumpkin. You don't like the pumpkins we carve for Halloween are not pumpkins that we generally eat.
They're different, smaller pumpkins usually.
Right. You want the smaller ones. So I'm like I have a tough time with this because I'm like, what am I tasting? What's the flavor here? That being said, this is a good cider. It's just I don't get the whole pumpkin flavor really so much. I'm getting kind of the pumpkin, like the pumpkin spice, but it says from our backyard since 1946. It's the season of campfires, sweaters, and pumpkin carving. Experience the warming flavor of our hand-picked apples balanced with the oven-roasted richness of pumpkin. Refreshingly crisp and perfectly spiced, our Apple Lantern brings you the taste of autumn that can only come from Blake's Orchard. So, it's a good cider. I recommend it. I just don't really get the pumpkin flavor so much. I just get a cool flavor. It's a good flavor. There's apples definitely in there, but then there's something else. It's kind of hard to nail down. But
it's the same thing.
Check it out.
It's the same thing with like pumpkin beers. A lot of times they say they're pumpkin beers, and sometimes they'll be made with pumpkin or things like that. But really, what you're tasting is the cinnamon and nutmeg that they throw in there with it.
Right.
Because that's what people want.
As I kind of let it kind of roll around in my mouth a little bit, I guess I can kind of, but I still it's not like I've ever taken a big bite out of a pumpkin, So it's like, That being said, it is a tasty cider. So check it out, guys. Blake's Apple Lantern. I believe they usually only make it in the fall. If you can, sometimes in some of the smaller stores, Blake's will sit on the shelf for a while. And that's, I think, what happened here with this variety pack. Just kind of sat. Probably sat in the cooler for a while. And they went, oh, let's put this on the shelf. And I grabbed it. So we should probably get into it. We got a bunch of things to talk about. First of all, there's still fighting in the Ukraine. Things are still looking awful and ugly, but we do once again send out our support to the people out there suffering. And I really, really do hope that things improve soon. We're hearing a lot of incredible stories coming out of the Ukraine of resistance and heroism, and hearing some really horrible things that the Russians are doing. Now I'm sure war is hell, and I'm sure that there are some horrible things going on both sides, but I'm still going to side with Ukraine on this one, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I also heard that Russia has they kept denying it, and then Putin actually admitted that they are using conscripts.
Yeah, things are not going well for him. He thought that this was going to be over in 2 days. It's not. It's over 2 weeks now, and it's looking worse and worse. He's only controlling about 10% of the country. There's constant, or quite vehement resistance. Apparently, it's been said that he has positioned China for help. China turned him down. He went to North Korea. Even North Korea said, bro, you might want to go home. You're drunk. So who knows? Apparently I heard Biden's going over to Europe to meet with other world leaders and to maybe, I don't know, try to talk some sense into the guy. My friend Alex, who is a Ukrainian, he's American, but his parents are from the Ukraine. His mother is. He basically feels that the Ukraine will cede land to Russia, and that will probably be enough for Putin to go. All right, I'll go home now.
He'll save a little face and.
Yeah, but then the UN is going to go, you fucked up that country. You owe them some money now.
Yep.
They're going to try and force them to pay for a lot of the damages and stuff. So we'll see. We shall see. But I don't want to dwell too much on that because it's depressing. What do you want to talk about first, man? There's a bunch of fucking trailers.
Yeah, we got trailers galore. Let's talk about the big one that just dropped, I think today, which is the Ms. Marvel trailer.
Kamala Khan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure at first because it looked a little too kid focused in that it had like the goofy cartoon drawings and stuff on all the characters and thought and word bubbles, and I'm like, that's not what I want. Hey, Sneak Coot. But as the trailer went on, I'm like, okay, this looks like it's got some potential. It looks like it could be a cute show. I don't know if it's gonna be one that I'm gonna be like dying for the next episode, but it could be a cute show.
I think it's gonna be up there with Stargirl on HBO Max. I think it's gonna be very family oriented. I think we've got a young female protagonist. I think it's going to resonate a great deal with younger audiences, and I think it looks adorable. I think it does seem to me that they are skewing away from her inhuman origins. Mm-hmm. She's obviously going to get her power some other way.
It looks like it's going to be that bracelet that she puts on.
Yeah, maybe. I do hope that her powers, she still has the imagery from there was at one point in the trailer she does has a big fist, comes out and punches somebody. Mm-hmm. But in the comics she's a metamorph. She transforms her shape. She calls it embiggening. I'm gonna embiggen, and she grows to a giant size, or her fist gets super huge and she punches and stretches her arm, and that's Ms. Marvel. And we're seeing from that trailer, we're seeing some other power sets, her flying or floating or whatever. We're seeing some kind of energy blast.
She's running on those energy discs too.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I'm still excited. I mean, if the power set isn't as important as the character in this situation. So I think if as long as the powers are kind of similar, I think I'll probably be okay with it. I think because Kamala Khan is still a relatively new character. She's only been around for about 5-6 years.
And they're gonna be at least touching on the racial aspect, because in the trailer she has the comment about heroes aren't little brown girls from Jersey City.
Right, exactly. And that's a major part of the character, is the fact that she is a Muslim American Pakistani girl, or would that be a Muslim Pakistani American girl that is dealing with that, being that in America, but then also being a superhero, and it's really great. It looks really great. It looks like one of the actors that has guested on Critical Role, Nanjiani, I can't remember her name right now, but she is also a Indian, East Indian performer. She was in some of the Alexandria Unlimited, to the character in that.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yes. It was just revealed that she got a role, and I'm excited, man. I think this looks pretty great. So check that out, guys. It's coming up in, I believe, June is when they said that is coming.
Anjali Bhimani.
Anjali Bhimani. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because I recognize her right there.
Yeah, she was great too. She was really funny on the show.
And she was on Modern Family. She's done Apex Legends, Overwatch.
Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff. Let's see. The release date is June 8th. So we're gonna get into.
I thought it was June 3rd.
No, it says June 8th. The series will debut on Disney Plus this June 8th.
The one I saw said June 3rd. The trailer says June 3rd.
That's what I'm getting here on Newsarama.
When I watched the trailer, it said June 3rd. Maybe I just cut the other half of the 8 off.
Yeah, maybe you did. Ms. Marvel set to hit Disney Plus on June 8th, 2022. For more of what's coming up, blah, 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 blah. So we got, it's looking great. But before Ms. Marvel on Disney Plus, we will have Moon Knight.
Yes, which they just dropped their final trailer too.
Exactly.
Which
March 30th.
Yep, which doesn't, the final trailer doesn't look like it's a whole lot more than what we've seen in the other trailers. Just a little more Egypt.
Yeah. I am super excited about that as well. I am really
too, but I think they're completely retconning the story and completely changing who Moon Knight is.
It does seem to me like they are making some pretty dramatic changes to it, yes. So, but I'm okay with that,
Depending on how they do it, yeah.
As long as I mean, like I said, I've heard that the character, the writer made him Jewish, which is apparently wasn't in the original comic book, but okay, whatever. There was talk about him actually being some kind of secret agent as well. And one of the reasons, I guess that's one of the reasons why we got like multiple personalities. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it looks like they're leaving in the multiple personality disorder.
Oh yeah. Dissociative identity disorder is I guess going to be a big part of the story.
Because he answers the phone the one time. Why do you call me Mark?
Yeah. He's got a British accent in one identity and he doesn't in another. So okay, we'll see.
Costume looks great though.
Costume does look really great. That's one that you got to be careful with. It could look pretty fucking weird, but I think this one looks pretty great.
They made it very kind of mummy-like too, with like
they're really leaning into the Egyptian.
Yeah,
it's very leaning very much. So I am going to be I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out and what they're going to do. So, and I think Oscar Isaac is he's a great actor. So I think he's going to be a good choice for this role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, March 30th on Disney Plus. So we'll probably have 6 weeks. We'll have 6 weeks of because it is a 6-week show. We'll have 6 weeks of Moon Knight, and
then we go. Then we get Kenobi.
Then we get Kenobi, which is another trailer, and then we get into Ms. Marvel. So let's talk about Kenobi as well.
That trailer. I know a lot of people are just like, wow, damn. People are like, I got chills. I had tears. It looked fantastic. It honestly, I think it looked great. And I'm really looking forward to it. It shows him sitting off, and watching Luke through binoculars.
Yeah. Keeping an eye on the boy. I saw a really great what was it? I saw a really great meme. It was Thor bloodied and he's like holding back Thanos, who's leaning in with because Thor's holding Stormbreaker. It's in Endgame, and he's holding Stormbreaker, and Thanos is slowly going to push it into his chest, and he's just like, and it says Pedro Pascal in The Mandalorian, holding like with the weight of the Star Wars franchise on his shoulders, the weight of the Star Wars franchise is Thanos, and it's just pushing it down on Pedro Pascal in The Mandalorian, and then you see Mjolnir flying in, and it shows then it shows Captain America holding Mjolnir, and it says Ewan McGregor saying hello there. And I was like, wow, that's fucking perfect, because I think a lot of people are looking to this to be like the kind of thing that it's maybe going to take some of the weight off of Mandalorian's shoulders. You know, we're going to see some, you know, some fun stuff from that. But that's the other thing though too. It's a whole different. It's a different era.
Yes,
it's a whole different era. The Mandalorian takes place after Jedi.
Yep. This
Obi-Wan's going to take place after Revenge of the
Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. So
yep.
Before Star Wars.
This is probably, from the looks of it, it's going to be about 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, after Order 66.
Sure. Well, at least, because I mean, I'd say maybe even a little bit older. I mean,
yeah, maybe even 7 or so.
Maybe 7 or 8, because I think Luke looks to be about 8 years old. So we'll see.
He's actually about the age that his father was when Obi-Wan met him.
Yeah, absolutely. And the interesting thing is, too, I saw another meme that showed Ewan McGregor, just like, that showed him in episode 1. It showed him in, you know, episode 3. And then it showed him like, I might have even showed him like episode 1, 2, and 3, and then currently. And he was like, wow. Really like watching a guy age impressively, you know? I mean, like this guy, it's like a kind of a glow up. I mean, he looks great. You know, he's like my age, maybe, you know, right around, maybe a little bit older. And, but yeah, it was just like, holy shit, you know, it's just kind of cool. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks,
he's 50,
fucking amazing. He's 50. Okay, so he's 2 years older than me.
Yep, he's a year younger than me.
The movie or the show looks really good, and I'm interested to see some of these other characters.
He actually turns 51 in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So he's,
March 31st.
3 years older. 3 years older than me. So just a scotch younger than you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm looking forward to some of these characters. I'm looking forward to seeing like the Empire just like scouring the universe, looking for him and looking for Luke. And
and Hayden Christensen's coming back to play.
Coming back as Vader to play Vader. And I'm like, all right, this should be interesting. Now, Vader, is he going to just do the voice, or is he getting in the suit? Because Vader is a big character. He's huge. He's meant to be, you know, larger. That's why they had the guy who David Prowse. Yeah, that's why David Prowse did the body of him, because he's a huge man. And he was a big guy. You know, they replaced his legs and his arm and his lungs. You know, Luke or Anakin became for whatever reason became a much bigger person. You know? Yeah, that cyborg. You know, he became bigger. So I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking that maybe we'll see Hayden Christensen maybe doing the voice, maybe doing some of the, like, maybe if you see him occasionally take the helmet off.
And that's the thing. There was a picture I saw of him without the helmet on, and it looked like they were in a fight. I'm like, wait a minute, are you going to tell me that they had Vader in the helmet at the end of Revenge of the Sith? You're going to tell me that now all of a sudden, because Hayden Christensen's playing him, he's not going to have the helmet on?
I think that's a different character. Whoever that person you saw, I think I know who you're talking about. I don't think that was Vader. I think that's some sort of like Inquisitor or something that's searching, looking for the Jedi. So, not sure though.
I'm looking forward to it though.
Yeah, me too, man. I think it's going to be amazing.
I don't need to see him. I agree, CD. I don't need to see Hayden Christensen again. I don't think he can act his way out of a wet paper bag. But
I agree.
He throws a temper tantrum, but that's about it.
I hate sand. It gets in everything. Yeah.
They're holding me back.
I didn't. Yeah. I don't know, man.
But the thing is, actually, if you watch New Hope, and you can see that Luke is his father's son.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna go to Tashi Station.
Go to Tashi Station. I need to get some power converters. You can go and hang out with your friends later, Luke, when your chores are done. So, it's just so bad. It's a shame, you know.
Yes.
It's a shame because I mean maybe Hayden Christensen could have had a better career if he hadn't kind of done kind of a, you know, critically lambasted performance as Anakin Skywalker in those 2 films.
Well, the thing is, I watched Jump as well, and which was him, and he was horrible in that too.
Yeah, he wasn't good in that either. I've seen it too. I don't know, man. I just
my daughter loves
get the role in the first place. You know,
my daughter thinks he's great. He's
really
yes.
Right. Well, no count for taste, I guess.
Yeah. So,
moving on.
Yes, moving on. One thing I wanted to mention real quick, all the because this just popped in my head. No, actually, you know what? I'll just talk about it later. We'll stay on the trailers for now.
Okay.
So to get away from Disney and Marvel and Star Wars and all that, the Boys season 3 Red Band trailer dropped.
God's above. Well. God's above. Holy shit! So bloody.
Yes, just people exploding left and right. It looks like Dr. Manhattan's walking through Vietnam. It's just
boom, boom, boom. Yeah, dude, I love The Boys. I love the comic. I love the show. I haven't watched Diabolical yet, which is their little animated thing.
Yeah,
so I've got all of the graphic novels on the shelf right here. all 12 of them. I think they've actually released a few supplemental ones since then, but since I had those. I love it. It's so good. And I am so excited for this new season. I saw an interview with Jensen Ackles, who's playing Soldier Boy from, you might recognize Jensen from his long time on the show Supernatural. But I saw an interview on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast Inside of You, and he talked about it. He said one of the guys that is producing The Boys was one of the original producers of Supernatural, so he's really tight with them. And he's like, hey, I'd love to, Supernatural's over, and I'd love to maybe do something on The Boys. And he's like, you want to do something? He goes, yeah, I'd love to do something. And he goes, I've got, you know what? No, I don't want to bring you in for something small. And he goes, I got it. So he sent him pages and said, this is, how about this role? And he was like, yes, I'm in. So he's playing basically a patriotic superhero that's kind of Captain America adjacent, called Soldier Boy. And apparently I think Soldier Boy was actually like a sidekick to it in the comics. I believe he was a sidekick to a different patriotic superhero. And then when that patriotic superhero died, he got the promotion up to the other. Yeah. But in this, they're still calling him Soldier Boy. So, but I guess Jensen said he's basically if Captain America was a douchebag, which is one of the ways they kind of describe Peacemaker too.
Yes.
But I think Soldier Boy is even more extreme. Because he says he's 80, and he stopped aging. So he's actually like an old man, and he has an old man's kind of mentality, even though he looks like he's 40 and an amazing shape 40, and but he's actually like 80 or 90. And so, yeah. So he prefers to like hang out with old people, and because he can relate, stuff like that. So I'm really excited. I think it looks great. I think they're going to do some just ridiculous shit. Just ridiculous. Gonna keep going and just get more ridiculous all the time.
So CD says Diabolical is a crappy version of Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, really? Okay. Maybe I'll skip it then.
It was okay, but
yeah. It's all but to watch all the time. It's okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll check it out. It was. So yeah. I mean. This just looks fucking great. Cannot wait.
Yeah, that I believe is also the beginning of June.
I believe so too. I think I had that up here.
Oh, that's June 3rd. You're right. Ms. Marvel is June 8th. I was looking at my notes wrong. The Boys is June 3rd, so it starts the Friday before Ms. Marvel.
I'll tell you, man. And the nice thing is it's on Amazon, and I think they just dropped the whole season. I think they might release.
Depends on how they. No, I think they'll drop like 3 episodes and then they'll do one per week. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the way they've been doing most of the shows. They drop like 2 or 3 the first day, and then they'll do 1 a week after that.
Okay. So also speaking of June as well, we have another release date for another show that is well beloved by this show, The Umbrella Academy Season 3.
Oh,
June 22nd.
I had not heard that. That's awesome.
It was released yesterday. They released that. The Sparrows have landed. The wait is nearly over. The Umbrella Academy Season 3 finally has an official release date, June 22nd on Netflix.
That's
there's
cool.
a teaser trailer.
I need to go back and watch season 2 again because I don't.
It's been a while, yeah.
I don't remember half of what happened in 2.
Yeah, it's the teaser trailer doesn't have much to it. It's basically just them standing in a room with the alternate version because they changed time, and so when they went back into their present day. They came in, they're like, holy shit, the school's they're different kids here, and
that's whatever. Right, that's what it was,
and different grown, whatever.
So
and so it's just them facing off with each other now. So it should be interesting. I'm going to be interested to see how eventually they're going to deal with the fact that one of the actors. I
was just going to say, I want to see how they deal with Elliot Page's change.
Right. I mean, I think when they filmed this, Elliot Page was still, identifying as Ellen Page and still played that role of the female character. So, but I don't know. Who knows? Or at the very least, hadn't gone through quite as many of the changes, because I mean, she's gone through top surgery and everything now. So. Or he did. He's gone through top surgery. So who knows? We'll see. It could be an interesting question. Like, how do you handle that situation?
Well, and they had set up the whole love story too in that last one, and I believe that her girlfriend actually came back in through time with her, or was going to.
Stayed there with her kid.
Oh, did she? Okay.
So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I think the Umbrella Academy is genius and is really, really great. And I think what Netflix was doing with that show is just absolute killer. So Umbrella Academy, June 22nd. Also this week, they revealed there was the state of play for Critical Role for their 7-year anniversary. They just did they announced several new things. They're going to be doing 2 new shows, one of which is a follow-up to Exandria Unlimited, where we get to see Robbie Damon's character of I'm blanking on his name right now.
I was just watching some of that today, and I don't remember his character's name.
Yeah, he just his character just left the current show.
Spoilers.
You knew about it. I told you.
I know, you spoil it.
The character left, and this happened 3 weeks ago now.
I'm not there yet.
Because of
I'm on episode 11, dude.
Because the things that happened in the show, because of the things that happened in the show, the character ends up leaving. So now they are going to do another limited series show where he meets up with the characters, his friends that were in the previous Exandria Unlimited. So we'll see Matt Mercer as a player again.
I'll say minus Oren and Fern.
Right, minus Oren and Fern. And we'll see. They are bringing in a couple other new guest stars, and it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. Also, they will be having a talk show called Foresighted Die or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's going to be a show where everybody that's on the show rolls a 4-sided dice, and they're going to have 4 guests, and whoever rolls the 4-sided dice then has to run the show. Whoever gets low number on, or whatever. If their number comes up, if they roll it, they have to be the host of the show. And it'll be discussing D&D and discussing other projects and things and whatnot. So They're also going to be doing, I guess, a special show on, I think, next Thursday, or the Thursday where they don't do a Critical Role show. They're going to do, because they do 3 weeks and a break.
Yep.
3 weeks and a break. On one of the break weeks, their show is going to be put up on movie screens that people can go to see it on a movie screen. I don't know exactly where. You'll have to check the website, but they did make a point of saying it will be shown in Brazil for the first time.
Oh,
so yeah, some cool stuff. They also had some new merch and some other things that they're doing. So if you guys want to check that out, you want to probably go to their YouTube page, or go to their website, and they'll probably have up the video. You can watch the video, or the Twitch channel where they deal with it. It's Marisha and Liam, and it starts off with, I believe, Marisha, Travis, and I think Matt, and then they slowly keep bringing everybody else comes in throughout the 8-minute video. So I want to check that out. Keep you up and on things. There was another trailer too, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The new trailer for that was revealed this week, the full trailer. That hits cinemas April 1st, competing with Morbius, which also comes out April 1st. April 1st in the UK and April 8th in the US. I didn't see the first Sonic, but I got nothing but good reviews, particularly after they changed the Sonic design. And people were just going on and on about how great it was. So I'm going to eventually check it out. And the sequel looks cool too. It's got Jim Carrey returning again as Dr. Robotnik. Now, I was never a big Sonic guy. I was more of a Nintendo guy.
I was a Sonic guy, and I still don't want to see this movie.
Really? The first one was apparently entertaining. I didn't see it, but I think I'm going to check it out. The sequel will have Tails in it as well, and Knuckles is introduced, voiced by Idris Elba, which I think is a fucking riot. Jim Carrey's portrayal of Robotnik actually looks a lot more like the character in the video game as well. He's bald and has a huge, even bigger mustache. So I've always been a fan of Jim Carrey, even though he's gotten a little odd over the last few years. As he's gotten older, he's gotten odder.
I don't think it's just the last few years, dude. He's always been odd.
Well, he's always been odd, but it's definitely like the last, I'd say 10 years, man. He's done some weird things on social media, and some of the movies, like he's being a lot more he's just being a lot more weird about some of the roles he's taking.
You've seen Fire Marshal Bill, right?
Right. Yeah. But he played that role of Colonel Stars and Stripes in Kick-Ass 2, and it was so violent that he was finally, when he saw the final film, the final cut, he refused to do any of the press. And he refused to support the film because it was just so violent. And now, from what I understand, he won't do movies like that again. He won't do anything that's ultra violent. And although he's playing a supervillain basically in this movie, still.
But he's going after a cartoon hedgehog that always gets the better.
It is in all honesty, it is a much different kind of film. So yeah. But I don't know. It looks entertaining. I'll probably check it out when it comes to a streaming service, and I'll probably check out the first one as well. I also did see the new trailer for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's Nicolas Cage's new movie.
Yeah.
Dude, it's getting incredibly good reviews. Apparently, it's getting high marks on Rotten Tomatoes. People are loving this movie. It's basically Nicolas Cage playing a more extreme version of himself. Talk about the ultimate narcissism, really. But at the same time, you got to appreciate the fact that he's willing to poke fun at himself, because that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like he's like, you know what? I am a character. why not embrace that? So he is. And basically the movie, for those of you who haven't heard anything about it, he is basically, as an actor, has fallen on some tough times. He's kind of broke. He needs to make some money. And he finds out that there's a gig that he can make $1 million just going to this super fans party and being a guest at this party. And he just, and the super fan is played by Pedro Pascal. And so he goes to this party and meets the guy. They hit it off. It's great. But it turns out that the character, Javi, the super fan Javi, is also some kind of international terrorist or something like that. And the CIA recruit Nick Cage to take the guy out. But of course, Nick Cage doesn't really want to because he kind of likes the guy. And the guy's got he's got a whole bunch of shit from his movies. He's got a wax figure of him from the character that he played in Face Off and his golden guns. And it actually looks really fucking funny. I probably won't go to the theater to see this. I probably will see this later. But it says, Nick Cage is still Nick Cage, and this is the ultimate love letter to every portion of him as a thespian. Pedro Pascal, who plays Nick Cage's superfan Javi, is also getting serious acclaim for his performance. Cage is at his best here, but Pedro Pascal steals the show and delivers the biggest laughs of the film. Pascal and Cage have unbelievable chemistry and will steal your heart with their bromance here. They're hysterical. The movie is an absolute blast. From Brandon Davis, Noel Raymer. The final reviews are just as glowing. It's one of the funniest movies of the years, wrote IndieWire. The filmmakers pull from every corner of Cage's filmography to craft something transcendent. Cage is perfect in the role of his life, declared Deadline. It's the part he was born to play, clearly. He's born to play himself?
Himself, yeah.
What the actual fuck? So, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is set to release in cinemas on April 22nd. For more on what it looks fucking funny. So y'all might want to check that one out too. I'm like, it kind of blew me away a little bit when I watched. If you watch the final trailer, it's something else.
Speaking of Nick Cage,
yeah.
I saw an article on the Nerdist that I was going to bring up. So Nick Cage, with all the hubbub about the Batman, and everything, and
we're going to talk about the Batman in a few minutes.
Yeah, and talk of sequels. This is a good tie-in. So, he's come out and basically said, "I know who you should have as a villain in the next one, and I want to play him." And it's Egghead.
Wait a minute. Who wants to play Egghead?
Cage.
Cage?
He wants them to have,
really?
He wants Egghead in the next movie, and he wants to play him.
Egghead?
Yep. A character that was created for the TV show.
For the TV show, played by Vincent Price.
Yes, which made him slightly cooler. But
yeah.
He was one that never made the transition into comics.
No.
So, yeah, he wants to play Egghead in the next Batman movie.
Oh, Nick Cage is crazy. Now, Nicolas Cage is a huge superhero fan. It's one of the reasons why he played Johnny Blaze in the two Ghost Rider movies, which unfortunately were not well received. And
well, no, the whole Jelly Bean thing was just awful.
It was weird. The second one was better than the first one, but it was still just not. They were not as well received as they could have been.
Almost played Superman.
He almost played Superman. Thank the gods he didn't.
Well, he didn't want to wear his underwear on the outside.
Well, it was really more just they couldn't settle on a script, and the producers, and Tim Burton is just not the right call for a director on that. Batman, great.
I still don't think
Superman,
he was good.
no.
I don't think he was the right one for Batman either. I was happy to have Batman at the time, but I still don't. I don't like Tim Burton. I am not a fan of his.
I liked Batman and Batman Returns. I think it was what we needed at the time, particularly.
Well, okay, I should say I don't like him as a superhero director. Like, I enjoyed Edward Scissorhands. I enjoyed Sweeney Todd.
What about Nightmare Before Christmas?
I'm kind of meh on that one. I know Renee gives me shit because it's one of her favorite movies of all time, and I'm like, it's okay. I can take a nap. You know, it's to me. We watched it again this last year, and it was only the second time I've ever seen it, and it was okay. I mean, it's not like I enjoy it to an extent, but I don't think it's like all that.
Okay. Hey, you know what? You're welcome to it. You're welcome to your opinions. It's fine. So yeah.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, fucking horrible.
It was weird. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was like, I don't know. So apparently Sam Jackson is also as a bit of a segue, I wanted to mention before I forgot. Apparently Sam Jackson wants to come back as Mace Windu in The Mandalorian.
Well, I heard that there's supposedly there's some scene shots for season 3 of Mandalorian.
Yeah,
like behind the scenes shots that are showing a connection with the New Order movies, the 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Weird. Well, we'll see. I hope that. I mean, I honestly don't think they really need to go into those, but all right.
Well, I'm not sure how they're going to do it because it's 25 years before those where the Mandalorian's set. So we'll see what happens.
So also, I don't know a ton about it because I've never been a big fan. I've never played Halo a whole lot, but the Halo television show is going to be premiering soon, March 24th on the Paramount Network or the Paramount app. So the Halo series set to premiere, March 24th. It looks pretty cool.
But it's going to freeze up every 30 seconds when you try and watch it.
You know what? It's so weird. I don't have any problems on my phone, on my tablet, on my computer. I'm trying to watch it on the TV though, and it's just for whatever reason, I don't know.
My Chromecast is the same way. I haven't tried watching it on like my computer or my phone, but I'm like, I want to watch it on my big ass TV.
Yeah, me too.
I can usually watch. A lot of times, I can watch one episode and it'll be okay. Yeah. But if I try watching a second episode, that second episode is like full of lockups and
it's the only
and delays and
it's the only streaming app that I have relatively consistent issues with about like either buffering or I gotta well, that's the other thing. I don't know if it's because of the app or because of my remote, but I can't back out of anything. Like I said, I can't go to a previous menu. I think that maybe more my remote because I had to buy an off-market remote, but I don't know. But I mean, honestly, I'm still gonna watch it. It's got all the great Star Trek stuff. I mean, I have not watched Picard season 2 yet. I think I might wait until they drop the whole season.
I want to get into it, but we haven't finished Discovery, which I'm surprised that they started Picard before Discovery finished.
Right. Plus, Strange New Worlds is starting real soon as well.
Not for a little bit. They just dropped the teaser trailer. I saw
the big teaser trailers the other day.
Yeah.
Right? So, but again,
I haven't seen that yet. I just saw it on my YouTube feed.
It's really good. So that
I'm looking forward to that one too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
My problem with Discovery is that I have a hard time getting into a show where I don't like the main character.
Okay.
And I like every other character on that show, but I can't stand Michael. He's just horrible.
Okay. I like her, but she again is not my favorite character.
It'd be like watching an entire series devoted to Poe Dameron.
Fair enough. We then need to raise a drink, raise a glass to an actor that died earlier this week. William Hurt, Oscar-winning actor, died at the age of 71. You might recognize him more recently. He played Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU.
I saw somebody did a tribute to him, a tribute video.
Yeah, he was seen, I think the most recently, he had a small part in The Black Widow. So, it's too bad, sorry to see him go. Apparently he had contracted, they said he died 1 week before his 72nd birthday, that he died peacefully of natural causes but I also had heard that he had contracted prostate cancer that had spread to his bones. It had gone to stage 4. So, I mean, it might have been one of the reasons why he had lost so much weight over the last few years. So,
yeah, that sucks, especially with them talking about there's all the rumors that the Thunderbolts were going to be coming out.
Right. Well, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, I mean, he was known as Thunderbolt. He was given that name in the Army because he was an Army general or colonel or something like that. I think he's a general.
He's general.
Yeah.
3-star.
He first appeared in The Incredible Hulk, later reprising the role in Captain America Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and Black Widow. He was also in the Marvel one-shot The Consultant. His voice will reportedly be heard in the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. He had a 45-year screen career, began with a lead role in the 1980s film Altered States, which won him critical acclaim and brought him to the attention of director Lawrence Kasdan, who cast him as the lead in Body Heat. Hurd also appeared in Kasdan's The Big Chill, which was nominated for Best Picture. He was in Kiss of the Spider-Woman, Broadcast News, A History of Violence, bunch of stuff. It was in AI, Artificial Intelligence, The Village, Mr. Brooks, Into the Wild, and Robin Hood. He's done a ton of stuff. So, so raise a glass to Thunderbolt Ross, man. Tomorrow, we're just running through a bunch of stuff. Tomorrow, the State of Play, PS5 State of Play is going to have they're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff about Hogwarts Legacy, which is the new Harry Potter themed video game that's supposed to be coming out this year. There has been a lot of rumor about it coming, whether it's going to come out or not, or when it's coming out. But tomorrow Thursday on March 17th, 20-minute show will feature more than 14 minutes of gameplay captured on the PS5. So for those of you guys who are really interested, you can watch via Twitch or YouTube. It says at 1400 hours Pacific time, 1700 hours Eastern time, 21 hours GMT. So
yeah, as I say, so 5 o'clock here.
Right. I'm interested in this game because I do, although, JK has turned out to be a problem. She's a turf, I guess, what they're saying. And a lot of the things she's been saying online has been pretty bad. I gotta admit, I love the world she's created. And this video game does look pretty cool. It is an open world game set in the late 1800s, early 1900s at Hogwarts. So it is removed from the legacy of Harry Potter, and we're just looking at the legacy of the wizarding world. And it should be pretty cool. They also dropped the latest teaser trailer, the latest trailer for the next Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie. And I gotta admit,
it's Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore.
Secrets of Dumbledore or something like that. I gotta admit, man, they're really entertaining. I'm digging these movies, man. It's as much as I kind of don't always want to. It's fucking fun. They're fucking fun. So I'm entertained. There was some rumor about whether that was also going to be delayed as well, but it's just at the moment it's all rumor. Speaking of delays, though, we do have delays from some of the DC films, some of the Warner Brothers films anyway. Warner Brothers has delayed The Flash and Aquaman 2, but has moved Shazam 2 up to this year. Apparently, a bunch of the movies, some of these movies there's been a backlog at a lot of the companies that do all of the special effects and the CGI due to COVID,
Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah, well,
and like the one other place that does them, that does the 10% that ILM doesn't do.
There's a bunch of companies. But yeah, I mean, we just talked about last week. I ran through real quick a lot of the dates on a lot of these films. Per the Hollywood Reporter, The Flash has been moved back from November 4th of 22 to June 23rd of 23. So they're really pushing that back a good 6 months. Aquaman 2, aka Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, has been pushed back to March 17th from December 16th. So
that's not moving back as far.
Right. So just from December to March. 3 months essentially. But the Flash has been moved from, it was supposed to be November of this year all the way to June of next year. In better news, though, Shazam! Fury of the Gods moved up to December 16th of this year from its June 2nd, 23 release date. So they swapped out Shazam and the Flash essentially.
When's it coming out?
The Shazam is December 16th of this year.
I'm looking forward to that one. I love
me too.
The first Shazam movie.
So good. And I think they wanted to do that because I think they wanted to put it a little bit closer to Black Adam.
Yeah.
Because Black Adam, I believe, is still this year, but they bumped it a little bit later. So I think they're just they're predicting that Black Adam is going to do extremely well. So they were like, you know what? Let's follow it up.
It's Dwayne Johnson, so.
Well, yeah. Dwayne Johnson, out of his huge career, he's only had a couple of movies that, kind of didn't do as well. Doom, I believe, is one of them. I mean, even the couple of silly, when near the earlier part of his career, the little comedies that he did still did well enough. The report indicates the changes came down to the pandemic causing a delay in visual effects on some films. Black Adam and DC League of Super Pets have also been shuffled along the recent slate, with the star of both movies, Dwayne Johnson, announcing the change on Instagram. DC League of Super Pets, which boasts Keanu Reeves as Batman and John Krasinski among its voice cast, will now release July 29th of this year, with Black Adam coming later on October 21st. So we'll have Black Adam on October 21st, and then Shazam 2 in December.
And
a month and a half later.
In the League of Super Pets, I actually saw the trailer for that. And I'm like, I just kept shaking my head going, no. But I kept laughing at what they were doing out there.
I know, right? I'm fucking in. I'm totally in. Kevin Hart as Ace the Bat Hound? I mean, my God. Keanu Reeves, that better be a licensed toy or I'm going to freak out. It's probably because I lost my family when I was a child. It's probably because I lost my family when I was a puppy, or my traumatic puppyhood, whatever. I was taken from my family when I was a puppy, it's just like, what the fuck? Oh, damn. But, Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson apparently are a match set. So, I don't know. It says the Flash is thought to be based on the Flashpoint comic book story, which saw Barry Allen travel back in time to prevent his mother's death, accidentally ruining the timeline in the process. Ezra Miller returns as the titular superhero, with Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are both back as their respective versions of Batman. Aquaman 2, meanwhile, is more of a mystery, but sees Jason Momoa back as Arthur Curry, with Amber Heard and Patrick Wilson also back in their Aquaman roles. So,
I thought Amber Heard wasn't going to be in it.
There was talk that she was getting replaced, but apparently not. Apparently they were able to figure some shit out.
Oh, so, good.
I mean, Johnny Depp gets basically kicked off of production of this new Wizarding World movie, but she gets to keep it. Even though was looking more and more like Amber Heard was the crazy person in their breakup, and that she was the one that was the abusive one. He gets screwed out of a pretty big role, and she gets to continue on with her really big role.
I agree, but I think he'll be all right.
Johnny Depp?
Yeah, I think
he'll be okay.
I think he'll be okay.
His career is going to survive.
I think it's going to survive. Yeah.
You think he'll be able to pay his bills, Chris? You think
Tim Burton's going to make another movie, and he'll be in it. He'll be fine.
He'll be in it. That's fine. You're right. So yeah, he'll be fine. I do want to make sure that we kind of get out at a reasonable time tonight. So I do want to get into a bit of a small spoiler-free review of the Batman.
Okay, and then I've got a couple more things to touch on after that. Okay. So
I know you have not seen it yet.
No, I have not.
I just want to say,
if you spoil it, I am going to reach through this camera and smack you.
Look, Clayface was an incredible surprise. All right, I just want to holy shit, and Kite Man. Fuck yeah! I just no, I'm just kidding. No,
did they bring in Dunans?
Pardon?
I said, did they bring in Dunans?
Dunans?
Dunans. It's the bar that they go to.
Oh, Dunans.
Yeah,
no,
Dunans.
There's no Dunans. So absolutely fantastic. It is probably, I don't know if it's the best Batman movie ever, but they are saying it's a close second to The Dark Knight.
I love Stella's.
And I'd have to agree with that.
I love Stella's comment of that she really loved My Chemical Batman.
My Chemical Batman, yeah. He's very emo. He's very emo. It takes place 20 years, pretty much 20 years after the death of his parents. So they talk about that specifically. It's exact to the date. He is a very young Batman. He's only been at it for 2 years. So he takes a lot of chances. He's very reckless. The character, I mean, the actor, I'm always blanking on his name.
Robert Pattinson.
Thank you. Pattinson did a great job. He did a great job playing Batman. And that's the thing. Whenever anybody is cast as the Batman, they're always judged on how they play Batman and how they play
Bruce.
How they play Bruce. And I got to say, I think I liked his Batman better than his Bruce.
Which is what I was expecting, because I didn't like the look of Bruce. This
is a Bruce that is hasn't figured out life work balance yet. He's very driven in his role as Batman, and so there's that. We had in the role of Alfred, we had Gollum,
Andy Serkis.
Thank you. And he was great. I think there wasn't enough of him. I would have loved to have seen more of him, and hopefully we'll see more of him in the future. Colin Firth. I'm just going
Farrell.
That's not the word. Colin Farrell. Thank you.
As Penguin.
Colin Farrell plays the Penguin, and he's unrecognizable. It's unfucking believable. If this guy doesn't get some kind of attention for this performance, I will freak out, because he was amazing.
Yeah, I showed a picture of him as Penguin to Renee, and she went, "No."
Yeah, it's incredible that they take this arguably extremely handsome man, and not even arguably, but it's just aesthetically, the guy is very handsome, and they make him look like the Penguin. And it was a different take on the Penguin. The Penguin, he's a lot more of a heavy, as opposed to the guy that sits behind the desk and tells people what to do.
Which is very different than what the Penguin was. I mean, the Penguin was always the mob boss.
He's been more so, as particularly after he kind of got a revamping in the late 80s, early 90s. He's always been, I mean, he used to be a little physical back then, but even then he was never the kind of guy that Batman was worried about, not kicking his ass. He always relied on his gadgets and his goons. Yep. So, but honestly, it was really great. John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. John Turturro, the kind of actor who's got so much incredible range. He can play comedy really well. He can do serious really well. He was good. Paul Dano as the Riddler. I mean, we don't even see him without his mask until the end, and the guy was really good too. I liked how in this film it wasn't about Batman and his gadgets. It wasn't about it was Detective Batman. And
how was what's his name is Gordon?
Jeffrey Wright was great. I mean, they worked very much as a partnership. They were Jeffrey Wright, or his Gordon was like, I gotta trust this guy. He's a good guy. I think we've worked together and he's helped me out. And so he gives Batman a lot of like access to crime scenes and stuff. And people are still No, he's not. He's lieutenant.
Okay, so this is before he becomes commissioner.
Yeah, people are still like, the cops are all still like very not sure about this guy, and he's still like, oh, he's a vigilante. We don't know how to handle him. But they're treating him more like he's almost like he's a consultant, like he's some kind of consultant. Just dresses in a very weird outfit, and so there's that.
Everybody's got their kinks, man.
Yeah, everybody, some people, like to dress in leather bat outfits with a cape. I liked how, like I said, in the Nolan films, they used to really deal with a lot about like where he gets his gadgets and stuff, and they made it very, there's a big part of particularly the Dark or Batman Begins, where he's like, he and Alfred are like figuring out where to get all the different gadgets and the different parts where they put things together and where the tumbler comes from. And in this movie, he just had them. You know, at one point, Alfred goes, if you keep spending money like this, you know, I mean, the accountants are, you know, and he's like, I don't care. And you're like, well, you need to care, you know, but he just has the stuff. So I like that they didn't dwell too much on that. And again, I think I mentioned this before. I think this might be my favorite Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
It is badass. It's so dark. It's hard to make out a whole lot of details, but it is a car. It's not a tank. It is a souped up badass muscle car. And I mean, there's been some images, there's some pictures that can kind of make it out a little bit more, but it is fucking badass, man. It looks great. Again,
so you're gonna say two thumbs up on the movie?
2 thumbs up. Last thing,
did it seem like it was 3 hours long?
No. It kept you moving along at a decent pace. I was not bored. I was not.
Does it have any of that like middle movie bog down?
Not really. I wouldn't say so. I mean, Stella was engaged the entire time, and she's a difficult audience when it comes to this kind of stuff. She was very much into it. She didn't fall asleep. You know, she was great. Before I don't want to say too much more because I don't want to get into too many spoilers. I will say that it's interesting, some design from the costume. They gave Batman an obvious collar on his, like where the cape comes into it. It's a collar here, and then it goes down into the cape. I wasn't sure about it at first, but I actually do. I like it. It's a cool change in the design. His symbol, he pulls it off and uses it. That's his batarang.
Okay.
He uses it, and he uses it more like as a knife, you know. But he also had like a big, like kind of a pouch on his, like almost a bag that he kind of had strapped to his leg. That was kind of cool. He was a little bulky, but it was like, okay, that makes kind of sense. He had his grappler, you know, that he used. And also Zoe Kravitz was fantastic as Catwoman. Capable, effective, sexy, but really fucking cool. So great. I will say one last thing. If they did set it up for a sequel, so I think we will definitely. I guarantee we'll see a sequel out of this. Beyond the fact that it's been extremely successful, they will definitely. Fairly certain we'll see a sequel just from the storyline. So
now I had
spoiler free enough for you.
Sure.
Okay.
One of the things I had read was that Zoe Kravitz had actually tried to be Catwoman before, and was told that she couldn't even get a shot because of her skin color. Yeah,
I think she was. I think she was in line, or she was one of those women that they were talking to when and Hathaway played her, and yeah, she couldn't. Yeah, they didn't consider a woman of color at the time, which is stunning to me. Because a woman of color
now
played Catwoman.
Yes.
Two women of color have played Catwoman. And now we don't like to talk about the Catwoman movie, but it's there.
Yeah.
And Eartha Kitt was an amazing Catwoman in the 60s.
Yes. And honestly, I don't want to take anything away from Anne Hathaway. I thought she was actually way better than I expected as Catwoman.
I agree. She ended up being I didn't think she could do sexy like that. And she killed it.
Yeah, she was. I thought she was great as Catwoman. She was fun. She was funny. She was sexy. She did a really good job.
Yeah.
But along that same line,
you're right, Stevie. Lots of trolls do. You're saying.
Along that same line, one of the things I guess we don't really have time to get into this too much, but one of the things I was going to ask you was, when I thought we had a little bit more time to kill.
Well, it's fine. It's not. I mean, we don't have to. It's not like.
Well, no, because I got a couple other things I want to just touch on real quick. They're real quick things, but they're. But one of the things I was going to ask you was favorite Batman villain, whether it's from the TV show or.
I've always liked Two-Face, and I've always felt like the best way we've seen Two-Face has been either in the comics or on the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't really been done justice yet. I did not care for him in The Dark Knight. I thought they should have left. I think Harvey Dent should not have become Two-Face in that movie. I think they should have just concentrated on the Joker. And
yes, I think that if they wanted to scar him there and have him be Two-Face in the third movie, I think that would have worked better.
Yes, I agree.
And left the Bane stuff out.
I did not care for Bane.
I don't think it was horrible. I like the way they did Bane in the movie, in that he was an intelligent Bane, not it's
the way he should be.
The way he should be. But I think that I would have been happier with them leaving Bane out and bringing Two-Face in and giving him his own movie.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Because yes, Two-Face is one of my favorites. Joker is still my favorite, but
I like the Joker, but I think he's overdone. I think so many people, they look at Batman and the Joker and they're like, well, it's Batman and the Joker. And I think there's just so much importance and concentration is made on the Joker that I think he overshadows some of the other great villains that Batman has. I think Two-Face is fantastic. And so the Joker
one of
is
Bruce's best friends, and
right.
And yes, Ra's al Ghul I think is really cool too.
Ra's al Ghul, I like Ra's al Ghul, but I also and I like the begrudging respect that Raj had for Batman. Called him the detective.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Batman's son is Raj's grandson.
Yep.
So it's and although Raj is dead in the comics, like permanently dead, apparently, or as permanently as it gets in superhero books.
Come on, they got a Lazarus pit.
Well, that's the thing. Apparently, a lot of them were destroyed, and he was finally killed. I still think I preferred more of the Arkham villains,
mm-hmm.
to that. I also really liked Clayface, but Clayface is one of those ones where he's more of I think I like him more as a lighter villain,
Yeah.
Even though he's actually one of Batman's most powerful villains.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Clayface really was a little just less of a dipshit, he'd be fucking ridiculously powerful. And that's why now Clayface, I believe in the comics, Clayface is a lot more of a, he's tried to reform, and Batman has been trying to help him reform. And whatnot. So Basil Karlo, anyway.
And let's not forget Egghead. We mentioned him earlier.
We can't forget Egghead. Or King Tut.
I was going to bring up King Tut too. Yeah.
Bookworm.
Bookworm, or who was the other one that I was like, oh shit, I forgot about him too.
Shame. There's Shame. He was the cowboy one.
Who was it? There was about.
I didn't really like the Penguin until Gotham.
Yeah,
I never cared for the Penguin until his depiction.
I've never been a big Penguin fan, although I liked him in the New 52 when they made him like the Iceberg Casino and all that. I liked that because I thought that was
making him more of a mob boss as opposed to that was a lot better.
Where is it? I know it's in here. Oh, here we go. Louis the Lilac. That was another one that was from the Batman TV show.
Louis the Lilac. Yeah, you know what that was? That was Uncle Milty.
Oh, was it?
That was Milton Berle.
Oh.
Yeah, Louis the Lilac. And then there was also I can't remember his name, but who's the piano player? I wish my brother George was here.
Liberace.
Liberace, yeah, Liberace played like an evil piano player. I can't remember what his name was, but that was the thing. The 60s TV show was just chock full of these like really well-known actors that played their villains.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like it was cool. It was a gimmick. It was like, ooh, hey, I'm doing a bit on Batman. Frank Gorshin was a great Riddler.
He really was
a great Riddler.
So
because he and honestly, I mean, Cesar Romero was an iconic Joker.
He was more the Joker. than the homicidal Joker.
Right.
But and honestly, Burgess Meredith, I actually thought was all right as Penguin. He
was one of the most famous people on that show too.
Yep.
Burgess Meredith was actually extremely well known.
So there's actually a listing I just found of the all 34 Batman villains ranked.
Oh God! All right, I tell you what. Let's do that another show. Let's do that next week.
Let's do that. We're gonna do that next week because I want to go through these because that was the thing.
Too.
They were like the big names were when they would bring in guest villains.
Right.
A lot of times.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I'm gonna save this here. Let me put it here. Oops. There, and we'll save that for next week. And so the other couple things that I just wanted to touch on real quick. One, the MCU shows, now that they're gone off of Netflix, one of the things I didn't think about was my little icon that was for my account was Daredevil.
Oh.
and they just all of a sudden just changed it on Friday. And now it's like this big, like red fuzzy guy with like tears coming down. And Renee's like, you need to change that. That's horrifying.
Oh, man. Speaking of that, I am going to probably get back into those shows now. But also, I hear that Turning Red is a excellent little Pixar film. I'm going to check that out eventually, too.
Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't seen the last one either. Encanto, yeah.
I'm watching Encanto. I haven't seen Life, which is the one that was right before Encanto.
I haven't seen that one either, but I've heard really good things about Encanto too.
Oh, it's cute. It really is. The music is very, you'll hum it. We don't talk about Bruno. No. It's one of those earworm things that'll get into your head, but it's a cute film. It really is. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Renee says she doesn't actually suffer from earworms ever. I'm like, how do you live? I'm like, I don't understand that. I'm like, I heard Diner on the radio the other day, and I was like doing the do for like 4 days after that.
Yeah, I get stuck on earworms a lot, and it's awful.
Yeah, and the last thing,
CD the shows went to Disney Plus.
They went to Disney Plus. Yep. But yes, so one of the last thing I want to talk about, this goes kind of back to Batman, and a character who was created for a TV show that then was transitioned into the comics is Harley Quinn. And we've got season 3 of Harley Quinn that's supposed to come out sometime later this year.
Correct.
But there is talk, and this is just talk now, of a spin-off show.
Yeah, I heard about this. About the
Noonan's.
Noonan's, yeah.
And basically the idea is that Kite Man buys it.
Yeah.
And tries
his parents are loaded.
Yeah. And tries to run it by himself.
Right.
And that I guess Harley and Ivy are going to be in like the first, are talking that they'll be in the first episode. Yeah. And then after that, it'll be other villains showing up like Lex Luthor or Bane.
As long as Kite Man regularly says, hell yeah. Kite Man. Hell yeah.
And like
that's
become
kind of his thing.
And knocks bottles off or something like that. Yeah.
One of Batman's dumber fucking villains, man. Let me tell you.
But I'm looking forward to the next season of Harley. I absolutely adore that show. I think it's
fantastic,
fucking hilarious.
It's one of those examples of mature animation that we're seeing that it's just excellent.
Kite Man is a player.
He is a player. He got Ivy for a while. It is one of those examples of amazing animated television that's just blowing the doors off, and just doing amazing things. We had Harley Quinn, we got Invincible, we got Legend of Vox Machina, we got honestly Rick and Morty to some extent. Just following up on the things that Family Guy and South Park laid down for people. I mean, as Do I feel South Park and Family Guy probably jumped over those lines a little too much? Yeah, probably. Yeah. But it doesn't change the fact that they were the trailblazers right behind the Simpsons. So, and I think we're in an era, we're starting an era of really, really great, seeing really, really great, and Young Justice, another example, really, really great animated television that is just, knocking it out of the park.
I actually forgot
Justice League, another one. Justice League.
I actually forgot about Young Justice for a while, that I hadn't finished season 4, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to finish that. So I've been watching that, and I've got like 2 episodes left.
Current season is still on break, but it will be coming back at the end of the month.
Oh, is it?
Second half of the current season. Okay. I believe March 30th.
Okay, then I need to watch. Hey, Rich just resubscribed. Thanks a lot, Rich.
Hey, thanks,
6
Richie.
months.
That's great.
You got here just in time for us to sign off.
Yeah, we're getting out of here. I got a thing I gotta go to. So gotta get something to eat real quick, and then I gotta go and
But you can all see Rich on Friday night right here at 7:30 on this Twitch channel while we play some D&D.
That's right. This Friday night, Tavern Nights. We're going to be playing our normal D&D game. We will be in the studio, so to speak, and
in the nerd basement.
In the nerd basement, in the real nerd basement, we will be continuing our adventure in Castle Greyhawk. So, looking forward to that. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. You can find us at all the places you can find quality podcasting. Guys, we are on the Google Play Store. We are on iTunes, Spotify, on the Odyssey app. We are on iHeartRadio and Stitcher. Guys, be sure to check us out. Tell us all your friends about us, and because we need all the help we can get. We want to reach as many people as we can. Guys, we do this show every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock here on Drinking Nerds on Twitch. Chris puts the show up a couple of days later on YouTube.
And yes, the mage can cast spells again. He's been healed.
Thank
God.
Cool.
We talked about that a lot last night on Tavern Talk. But yeah, so remember, you can follow us on most of the social medias. We are on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show. We are on Twitter at Drinking Nerds, Instagram Drinking Nerds, and of course YouTube Drinking Nerds. That's right. I actually am caught up on YouTube right now, except for Tavern Talk last night, and then of course this show. But those will be up later this week. But yeah, everything else is up there. So if you haven't seen the latest episode of Tavern Nights and you want to get caught up before this week, go check it out. So or you can still watch it on Twitch. I think it's up there until this Friday. So but yeah, so I think on that note, I think that's going to about do it. So on that note, until next time, Sláinte. Well, that was kind of lame. Here, let me try that again. Still not great.
Yeah.
But
happy St. Patty's Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. Be safe, be smart. It is an amateur hour, so
that's right. Very true.
Everybody have a good week.
Good night.